Welcome to this, your daily briefing, the only channel that you can rely upon to be completely free of screaming, shouting, caps locking, begging for people to buy stickers, trying to solicit cash in order for questions, and generally making a nuisance of themselves. I hope you respect the rational thought and straightforwardness that I bring you. So Nuno, after 72 days in a labour ward, was finally induced late last night when I was down the juicer. I don't do breaking news, so you know if this was a place that you needed to come to, I think you need to ask yourself questions. The man is not the problem. The man is not the problem. The regime is the problem, and whoever we had appointed would have been academic. It's saddening that this was choice 9 or choice 10 or whatever. I notice it's something that's been skirted around by the club, and it's just been unimaginably torturous. And the idea that a big club would act like this, sack a household name and get in a guy who, and we'll come on to his previous achievements, but a guy who finished 16th or whatever in the table and then was let go by that club. I'm convinced, utterly convinced, that Nuno is a decent guy, a genuinely nice, kind, ordinary, warm human being. So it's not about him, it's more about what's going to happen next. And this is the whole deal for me. It's about winning. That's the metric. So if you want to enjoy the ride, if you want to be entertained, I would recommend Covent Garden Opera House to you. They normally have some solid headline acts on there, and it's very unusual the crowd start booing at half time. The real problem is that nothing has truly changed, and it is unlikely to change. There's very little money, and the devaluation of the existing personnel kind of casts a pall over the whole thing, because until a fresh voice is heard by people who are themselves fresh faces, then having one of those things isn't going to make much of a difference. And this was clearly the issue that Jose Mourinho took to Levy, and he said to him, no, we've got some world-class talent here. Yeah, we have. I could identify 2 world-class players, but I'd struggle to name a third or a fourth. So the suggestion that Nuno can somehow charm or coax meaningful improvement from a squad that's already watched 2 extremely decent managers waltz down to the unemployment line is just an implausible suggestion. One thing I'd ask you, suggest that you try to combat, and I've noticed it in a few places, is the business of, yeah, but look how committed and passionate Nuno is, and here's a few things that he did in his video highlights, and yesterday's gone. All of that stuff. There may have been wonderful things, but I've seen Jose Mourinho throwing winners' medals into a crowd. Absolutely academic when it came to coming to Tottenham. And this is the real killer. It's about all the good work that he's done, and I referenced a movie here. I keep saying I don't want to damn him and to make it sort of, but he isn't up to the job. It's just that the job is just unmanageable for anybody the way things stand, because it's the consequence of all the things that have gone wrong in the past, and that have never been addressed, and that we've got this bottleneck where no matter what manager you put in, the wine's already corked. And so I reference this thing. It might sound a bit laboured now, but it's like that scene in the Fugitive, and Tommy Lee Jones has a gun on Harrison Ford, and Ford says to him, "I didn't kill my wife," and Tommy Lee Jones replies bluntly back to him, "I don't care." And that's my position. I don't care. So if you want to say to me, but Nuno looks like a really great guy, I'm not going to disagree with you. And we've already had the quote, and this is heartbreaking. Honestly heartbreaking. No, that's from Daniel Levy. I want to get the. Yeah, Nuno saying having a squad like Tottenham's, you can only have one DNA. You can only think one way. You have to enjoy the game. We have to play the game. And I don't have the full quote here. I wanted to get it off that Twitter thing, but the thing wouldn't come. Yeah, having a squad like Tottenham's. This guy is already talking up the squad, and it's a squad that even when we had airlifted, booted down the road, Mourinho, Ryan Mason couldn't get a tune out of them playing with and just saying, lads, there's nothing to be done with these guys. Is Nuno going to turn Dele Alli into a household name in footballing terms? Is Nuno going to be able to make sure that Eric Dyer makes fewer bad decisions? I don't know, but nobody else has so far. So where I am, my position is that I can't be done with the faux optimism. I didn't see a bounce when Mason took over. It all was like the backbiting and the snivelling and the sniping had probably had a bit of a lid put on it within the team. But I'm struggling to see that Nuno has a pocket full of fairy dust, and that's essentially what he's going to need. I wish him well, but I don't wish him well. I wish him well as in look after yourself, mate. Mind how you go. My optimism kind of then peters out because Mourinho arrived saying the squad was great, and then the reality kicked in. There's no money. We're being linked with players that have got pretty hefty price tags on them, and I just can't see it happening. I'm struggling to see where that's going to happen. But winning is the metric. I'll have that on my gravestone. Winning is the metric. And if this guy can't do any more than get us into top 4 or top 6 or whatever in order to churn that money in from the broadcast rights and the TV rights, if he can't get us back on that track, and that's ultimately his job description, that's his role, that's what he's signed up to do, and if he can maintain that whilst bringing in eventually new players as the cash starts to come back through the turnstiles, then he's in with half a chance. But I tell you, he's got an incredibly difficult job ahead of him, because if you think he's going to succeed and you can leave all your anti-Mourinho tropes at the door, then you're telling me then he's better equipped today than Pochettino was with essentially the same squad, and you're telling me that he's better equipped than Mourinho was, and you're also telling me that this guy has got an edge on Ryan Mason, who's their best buddy, and probably wasn't screaming and shouting and demanding this, that and the other of them. And I don't see it. So I can't scream and yelp. I can't, wail at you to smash the likes and buy virtual stickers from me and sort of get you all up into a frenzy. They're talking about the Tottenham DNA. And even the white noise brigade on social media are saying, they're muting the word. Levy's used it in his opening thing, and Nuno's used it as well, and it's horrible. It's a corporate thing that they've kind of slunk in there, and it's one of these sort of things that they think it's a panacea, that will cover up for. So when people say, "Oh, it's a family business," or they just use this masking language, the corruption of language, and the truth is that the DNA of this club went an awful long time ago. So I do wish him well. I don't have a hate on for the guy. I think he's an adequate manager. I'm not prepared to look back to see what he achieved 3-4 years ago. There are some good players in the squad, but there's only a couple of elite players, and I don't believe at least one of those will still be with us next season. I can't see Harry Kane throwing his arms around this guy and then going home to the missus and saying, "Do you know, I really connected with him. There's a warmth there, a determination, and a belief. So I'm going to say to Man City, and I'm going to stick with the clowns that I've been moaning about to you for the last 18 months, honey." That's where I am. So sorry to disappoint you. Sorry to not be a cheerleader to sell empty boxes. But I'm just trying to tell you the truth. I'm happy to be proven wrong, But as I say, that's telling me that Mason was less than this guy, and that Mourinho was, and Pochettino was, and that's kind of where we are. Good luck. I've had problems with the plumber today. I can't go into greater details, but that's why we're a little bit late. But we should be back on track from here on in. Good luck. Keep it on them.